Good morning, guys. It's Gina here. I am going to walk you through this really quick layout that I made. I hope it's quick anyway. I'm starting with this photo. This is, I haven't scrapbooked a lot of Stu and my wedding photos. I know that my wedding book is going to be gray, black, and red, and white, of course. So I decided to start with this gray paper. I wish I had the layout in front of me. That would make this voiceover much easier. And you see how on those chandeliers, you'll see it again, there are like these pearl strings that hang down. And I was really, I don't know if you'd say, yeah, I was inspired. Of course, I didn't put that on straight, so I had to pull that back up. So I was inspired by the pearl strands that hang off of these chandeliers that are in this. I think they're chandeliers that are in this photo, and I'm fighting with myself about whether or not I should back that photo or not. And there you can see I'm pointing to that. I really like that, and I wanted to recreate that shape in pearls on my layout. Unfortunately for me, I can't draw worth a darn, so it doesn't turn out quite the way I want. I'm going to pull a ruler out. I'm going to try to draw them, and I'm going to try to, make marks to make the drawing easier. And I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to cut a lot of this out because it doesn't work out for me. So here are the pearls. They're pre-strung pearls. They're not pearls. They're like, pearlish beads. And they're pre-strung, which is important, I found, when you're using beads on your layout. If you don't want a random kind of look, you want them in a nice straight line, it's better. Excuse me, I had chocolate milk a little while ago. It's better to string them because then they don't get out of line and stuff when you're gluing them to your layout. So I really thought, I'm tying it off here so that the pearls don't fall off the string. And apparently I can't tie a knot either, so weird. So I'm gonna, wow, Gina, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm gonna try to tie this off. What I'm really trying to do is to get that knot as close to the last pearl bead as I can, and that's why it was taking so long, because I'm not very good at that. So I did make some, you can't see them, but I made some lines on that paper, and I'm going to try to string these pearls along this line. Unfortunately, this is not going to work. So it's not going to, I like it in the end, but it's definitely not going to work the way I had envisioned and match those strands of pearls that are hanging off those chandeliers. So, but in the end, it's fine. Not everything works out the way you want to, and most of the time my layouts don't come anywhere close to working out the way I want to. So I'm just going to string those pearls along the line until I get sick of it, in a way. That might be more why it didn't work, because of just laziness. But they weren't working the way I really wanted them to. So I decide that I'm just going to take them, and then I'm going to just run them along the layout. The other thing was, as I was putting them down, I was like, where am I going to put my photo? But I realized as I'm doing this that my lines and my drawing are not lining up. And so the one thing that was really bothering me is the point of my chandelier, where the deepest part was, or the longest part would not be in the center of my page. And that was what was really, if it's going to be asymmetrical, then make it asymmetrical. But if it's going to look symmetrical but not be in the center, oh no, my OCD can't handle that. So I decide at the end just to let it go, and I draped it and then just let it fall off the edge of the page there. So that's down. I'll show you a quick picture of it. I like it, but it's not the chandelier look I was going for. And this is the wedding cake from our wedding in Vegas. The chapel where we got married actually supplied it, and Stu and I didn't even taste it. We were so tired that trip. So we had gotten back from Germany like 2 weeks before we went to Vegas to get married, and we were just exhausted. I don't know if it was the heat or what it was, but we were in fact, we had plans to go see Penn and Teller the night of our wedding, And we went back to the hotel after the wedding and took a nap and slept right through Penn and Teller. We didn't even go. But it was fine. The MGM Grand has really, really comfortable beds. At least the ones that we stayed in when I was there. Really comfortable beds. So we slept well. The picture is obviously going to go over that pearl strand, so I'm just using a bit of cardboard here. And I'm an Amazon shopper, so there is always cardboard around the house. So I'm just going to use a bit of cardboard here to raise the photo up off the page a bit. There we go. So that it can go over that pearl strand without, dipping and things like that. And then, of course, I didn't put it all the way to the cardboard all the way to the edge, so the photo was, it was getting, I don't like my photos to bend. I like them to be completely supported on the back, which is why I use way too much adhesive. I'm trying to get away from using all the foam squares and things like that by using cardboard. Yeah. So anyway, I really need to change the angle. I've said this in every video, haven't I? I need to change the angle of this camera. But I'm picking out some flowers here that I'm going to use to embellish the page. And I'm going to pick them out, but I'm not going to show you how I put them all down, because who wants to watch me hot glue a bunch of flowers to a layout? But I am going to use them. I'm going to hot glue them. And I'm going to cut this off at some point, because really no one wants to watch somebody hot glue flowers. I'm not making any decisions here. It's pretty random about where I'm going to put these flowers. And I hope I don't show you too many more of them. I know I cut it at some point. But I'm cutting the stems off because I just really wanted, I didn't want any green on the layout. So I took the stems off, and these are Prima flowers, of course. And there will be a bit of green because some of them have, the green leaves attached to them. And sometimes I left the stems. If I could get the stems to lay underneath the photo, I kept them. And then here is the manufacturer strip that came off the bottom of that paper I thought I was going to use and didn't. And it has a bunch of words on it: live, laugh, love, together, forever, those kinds of words. So I put those down underneath the photo, and I'm going to I want them all in one single line. I decided thought I was going to put them on top of each other, but then I decided I didn't like that, so I'm going to just go ahead and put them all in a single line. Just using some tape runner adhesive here, and I don't get them exactly straight, but I'm letting it go. Alright, now all the flowers are down. And I just, basically all I did was outline the two sides of the photo with the flowers. You can see that. And I added that little resin piece in the to the upper right of the photo. That's a piece of wedding cake. It's a resin piece from Prima. And now yeah, I cut out my title using my silhouette, and it's a bit of a grammar issue. The title I decided on was "Marrying You is like having my cake and eating it too." And the grammar of this statement makes me a little crazy, so I'm just going to ignore it and go with it. I felt like the bottom of this bottom corner needed some embellishment, so I added that there. And I'm going to add a couple of more flowers around just to make sure that the layout looks balanced to me. And it also gives me a good opportunity to use up some of these flowers that have been in my stash for darn near forever. I'm just adding them around. The more flowers I can find to add, the more I'm using. I went through a period of time, and I might have said this in another video, but I went through a period of time where I hated flowers. I didn't want to use flowers on my layouts at all. And now it's like, oh, I love them. I just want to use all the flowers. So that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm using all the flowers. I pulled out, I keep my flowers in baggies if they are out of their packages, and I keep them colored order. And so I just pulled out the black and the gray ones and just went to town on adding them to this layout. And basically, I just add stuff to my layout until it looks good to me. And I don't know much, I don't know about the design principles or anything like that, but I just do it until it looks good to me. And now I'm going to use some super old, I think they're from 2007, Making Memory brads. And, they're black and there's clear ones too. So I'm just going to use a couple of these and add them around the layout just to give the layout a little bit of shine and another texture, because it's very, got all those fabric and paper flowers, and I just wanted to give it a little bit more texture to it. Adding some more of these brads. There we go. I don't know how many I add. Oh, another one. I think I got to the point where I was like, I'm going to use up all these brads. I'm going to get rid of this packaging. And I think those little gems that are on there, I don't know if I'm using some more gems, but they're bigger than the gems that are in that little Making Memories pack. I'm going to use a few of those, and then I think I just tossed the rest of that package. Wasteful, I know, but they weren't sticking very well. And so go back and pick up some larger ones just to scatter around the page and give consistency to the flower embellishment clusters. Yeah, I'm determined. I'm gonna add as much of this stuff on here as I possibly can. I don't know who said it, like somebody in the mixed media, I'm going to put the date on here with a roller date stamp, but somebody in the mixed media community on Facebook said once, you're one layer away from perfection or from art or something like that. Like, just keep adding layers. And the more layers you add, the more perfection, like you're one layer away from perfection or something like that. I really find that to be true. Like, just keep adding things. Eventually, you'll get to a point where you like it. Excuse me. You'll get to a point where you like it. And that's basically all that matters. I always say that, as long as you like it, doesn't matter. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm using my Tim Holtz ruler to put some lines in this upper right-hand corner, so that I can do some journaling up there. And I really wanted to journal about the fact that the chapel, as part of our wedding package, provided us with this wedding cake. And we took it back to our room, and we didn't try it at all. We didn't have a way to bring it home, so we didn't freeze the cake or anything like that. We wouldn't have remembered our anniversary even if we had frozen the cake, so it wouldn't have mattered. But, so I did my journaling about the fact that we had this lovely cake, but we didn't eat any of it. So then I felt like my title was looking a little bland on the page, so I'm going to take this, it's by Tattered Angels. It's, okay, I lied to you. I'm going to add some of this glitter to the flowers, because I felt like things were a bit flat, and I didn't, leave all of that in, because who wants to watch me add that stuff? But I added some glitter to the flowers just to give them a little bit more, add a little bit more interest. And then I felt like my title was flat, so I took some silver paint. I used acrylic glaze, and I added some of that paint just on some portions to highlight that title a little bit. And here's a close-up look at the layout. See all my flower clusters? And now they have that shimmer and shine to them. So here's a final look at the layout. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed down below, or give it a thumbs up, whatever you feel you want to do. And I will see you guys next time. I hope you're having a great day. Take care of yourselves. Bye.